Hello everyone. Going to be doing an auction tomorrow night, which will be Sunday night, January 31st, 2021. And this is the night before the mouse ran up the clock. No, it's the night before the auction. And we may do a raffle on this. I've done a lot of research. If you go to timestamp 27 minutes and 40 seconds of a preview I did on Thursday night at Jewelry Nurse's channel, which I will post a link. I talked about this, and I've been researching this. I bought this back in 2017. Silver prices were $15 an ounce. This puppy, all 36 inches of it, weighs 6 ounces, 178 grams more or less. I don't have a scale big enough, but I use my tomato scale that's been certified by Weights and Measures, and it goes from these small beads, which are, and I took notes today, I spent about 4 hours researching this, and I fell asleep. My brain was tired. I haven't done this since college. But let's see. The smallest beads, the graduated. That's a good word. Did you graduate? Yes, I did. All right, 7 millimeter to 25 millimeter weight, more or less 178 grams or 6 ounces at current prices. We know that silver is $1 a gram. However, because of the clasp, and look very closely, sorry about the banging around, look at these beads up close, because I'm going to talk about machined beads and hand-benched made beads. Say that 10 times in a row. The rain in Spain mainly falls on the plain. All right, here we go. And I'm a lazy journalist. Was even in college. I didn't want to. I could write it out, but I didn't want to do the bibliography. We just call them IBs for short now. All right. Sterling silver. Start over. Sterling silver Navajo pearls. Graduated in size, 6 ounce, 925 silver, stamped with a very old clasp that is so old I couldn't even find it, and later on I'll tell you where I looked. Mexico TH-I or 1, I'm not sure. Most likely ceremonial, because this thing is big. I looked up, and feel free to research this, because this, you may see this tomorrow night. There's a website called Colonial Silver Towns, and if you search it on the internet, I'm not going to tell you which search engine to use, you may just find out that this is a museum piece, even old pawn. It's highly collectible. I already told you that. I hate to tell people that. I already suggested to you that silver may be today worth $1 a gram. I hit all the Etsy's, Pinterest. As far as I know, this is a one of a kind. And like I said, and I'm not going to tell you what it's easily worth, because I want you to do your homework. The beads are graduated from 7 millimeters to 25 millimeters. And then there's another website you can look up that's called Bench-Made Beads versus Machine-Made Beads, which basically means this. In 1950 or so, they began machining halves of these beads. And that's where they get all the little stamping marks, and you could order them or buy them. And you'd sand them down, each half. And then I went to another video on YouTube, and the way you solder them together, which I always wondered, they just put a piece of solder inside the two halves, kind of pinch them together, and then heat up the ball, and then the solder goes around on the inside. That's why you don't see them on the outside. I saw one. I hit a high note just then. I saw one that was listed that was 22 inches. It looked just like it. The beads were a little bit smaller. It was $710. Let's see here. This is a wonderful vintage bench bead necklace with great patina, made out of beautiful handmade beads. That was for the one that was 22 inches, and this one is 26. And the three main beads, as I said before, because I have my ruler. Let's see if I can find it. Of course not. Not when you... Oh. And this is my ruler from college. Each one of those little lines on top is a millimeter. If I remember right, 10 millimeters equals a centimeter. And the biggest one is right there. Okay, where was I? A wonderful vintage bench bead necklace. Great patina. And that was for the 22-inch one. And again, this necklace is 36 inches long. Beads are graduated once again from 7 millimeters to 25 millimeters. Weight 178 grams or 6 ounces of 925 silver. Most likely made or assembled before 1950, because if you go back and look at the museum pieces and look up a little bit of the museums in New Mexico, they started making these around 1850, and in 1950 they started being machine made, which is called bench made. Before that they were called, and what was my notes? It's always so much easier to do than somebody's talking back at you. It's a collector's item, labor intensive work, not bench made because there's no shoulders. And if you look back at the very first of it, you'll see that there's no stamping and there's no shoulders. If you just do an image, you'll see that most of them are not this round. And let's see, shoulders. That's where the two halves are soldered together. If they are not perfectly spherical, as in the Earth's not completely round. I think it has bulge in the middle like all of us. A collector's item, labor intensive, not bench made because no shoulders. Hand domed beads versus machine made beads. Hand domed beads since 1850. In the late 1950s, machine made or bench made beads. So there's your timeline. This, in my opinion, having done my research, this has no shoulders. It is on a sterling silver chain. And don't ask me how, but sometime in 2017, I just woke up one morning and said, sell the farm. Silver's been sleeping, and so that brings up something that, if you have questions, what's this with the short squeeze selling of silver? Oh, it has to do with ETFs. It's paper. And in one day on Thursday, January 28th, when everyone had to take delivery of their silver, and who can take delivery of 5,000 ounces of silver? So what they did is they rolled it forward. And so 3 months from now, they'll have to deal with it again. So in one day, they sold as much silver paper as they sold all of last year. What does that mean to me? Not much, because I'm not into paper. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. However, if I was a day trader or speculator, which 10% of your portfolio should always be speculative, and I think I froze up. Having said that, post your comments, and I'm pretty sure the voice is still working, and I'll see you tomorrow night. I will post some links for you.